What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning into you guessed it, Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day. Today is Wednesday, August 13th. Feels crazy to even say that we are already in August. Packers football fully underway. Lots to talk about per usual. And we'll start with Jordan Love. We all know what happened on Saturday night against the Jets. That last sack that he took, he hit his thumb on the defender's helmet and tore some ligaments. And yeah, he ended up getting surgery on that yesterday, Tuesday morning. And reports say that it went perfect. So that is always good to hear. Anytime you hear surgery, anytime you hear ligament, anything, it's always a little scary, right? Especially when it's your quarterback in hands. So that's good news. And yeah, everything went good Tuesday morning. He actually was practicing Monday and was seemingly doing okay besides handing the ball off with his offhand on plays where he would normally hand it off with his left hand. So decided to get the surgery done now and get healed up before week one rolls around. So good news on that front. And when you think about it, all in all, he's really not missing a ton of practice time. They're traveling today to Indianapolis. They have their joint practices tomorrow, and then the preseason game on Saturday, of course, at noon. And then in between that, they might have maybe just a walkthrough on Friday. So, yeah, missing a joint practice is not the best scenario, of course. All the players typically say that those are more valuable than the preseason games themselves, since you're actually going at it pretty good against the opposing ones. Everyone's playing. So a bummer he's missing that. And then they will not have practice on Sunday. I don't think they have a scheduled one for Monday. Then they'll have regular public training camp on Tuesday. And hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, he's back. So all in all, not the worst thing to happen. Anytime your quarterback gets injured, yeah, it sucks, but could be a lot worse. So recap for Jordan Love, he should be back next week and not missing a ton of time outside of a joint practice tomorrow. They weren't scheduled to play anyways on Saturday. The starters weren't, so we'll see if that changes for any of the other guys come Saturday at noon. Jaden Reed, other injuries here. He has a sprained foot. He's expected to play week one. We've seen him walking around with a boot on. And, yeah, he'll be out the rest of training camp, and hopefully he'll be back for week one like they are saying. Dontavian Wicks, he's been out with a calf injury for a couple of weeks now. At least I don't, and I haven't seen a whole lot of updates regarding Dontavian, but keep our eyes and ears open for that one over the next few days, maybe a week or so. Hopefully he can get back out there. Romeo Doubs went down during practice yesterday with a back injury. So he was skying up for a deep ball, and came down kind of awkwardly, and he left with a back injury. He didn't speak to reporters after practice, but he did talk to Rob Demovsky when Rob asked him if he was okay, and Dontavian did say he was good. So we'll see how that transpires over the next few days. I'm sure he won't be practicing tomorrow or playing in the game Saturday, but hopefully I'm wrong. So Savion Williams, another receiver. We're just going right down the line here. He's been dealing with, it seems like, a different injury every other practice. So he's kind of having a rough camp as far as staying on the field. And Xavier McKinney, he'll miss the rest of camp. Hopefully he'll be loaded up and ready to go for week one. We'll need him against the Lions, and then the short turnaround against the Commanders on Thursday night, just a few days after. And as we know with Nate Hobbs, he will also be missing the rest of training camp. So a lot of guys that will be out up until week one. And yeah, to say I'm not concerned would probably be a lie. But to say I'm freaking out would also be. So I'm kind of somewhere right in the middle. You'd like to see your whole team obviously healthy, of course. But it is football. Injuries, as we all know, are a part of the game. And as I heard Malik Willis talking about yesterday after practice at his locker to reporters, it's not like these guys are out of the building, rehabbing elsewhere. They are still in the meeting rooms. They're still on the sidelines at practice. So they aren't completely missing out on everything that's going on. Hopefully, over the next week or so, we'll see some positive updates on most, if not all, of these guys as we load up for Detroit in week 1. I am just floored. I cannot wait. Was talking about it with my barber this morning. It's like waking up Christmas morning when it's game day, and it's even more so during week 1. So, and it'll be here before we know it. All we got left for training camp slated right now is the Colts joint practice tomorrow, Colts pregame or preseason game on Saturday morning, and then next week is Seattle. They have a joint practice with them as well, and then a preseason game against the Seahawks, obviously, as well. So, yeah, we're coming right in the middle here, right about halfway point for training camp, and then we typically always have that, the week or so break between the last preseason game and the game week for week 1. Yeah, I'm excited to say the least. So let's hop in the chat here, shall we? Appreciate you guys hopping on. My man Phil, fresh fade, looking good. Bubble wrap the boys now. Phil, appreciate the compliments. Got a haircut this morning. My barber, a funny story here. I'll keep it quick because it's boring. New barbershop opened up in town about a year or two ago. I took a peek in before they opened, and one of the booths, one of the little shops there, the chairs, behind it was just tons of Packer stuff everywhere. So I was like, well, that's probably the guy I'm going to give a shot. And ever since then, it's been smooth sailing. So yeah, he hooked me up this morning. I'm on the Matt LaFleur schedule as far as haircuts go. Typically go every 10 or so days, which some people find insane, but hey, like to keep it short and sweet. So thank you, Phil, for hopping in. Appreciate you, my man. Micah Stevens, great shirt. Thank you. Yeah, this thing is sweet. It's a Super Bowl 31 crew neck. Copped that from the Pro Shop about a couple weeks ago when I was up there for training camp. So, yeah, everything in the Pro Shop is expensive, but I saw this one and had to have it. So thanks, Mike, for hopping in. Appreciate you. Armin is in the house. I haven't heard as much hype for Malik Willis as I was expecting. How is his camp going? Armin, Malik he's working through some things at camp, I would say. He's been solid. Nothing crazy. You've also got to remember with Malik that last year when he came onto the scene so quickly, he was only around for 20 days before he started that game in week 2 against the Colts, if I remember correctly, or was it the Titans? I can't remember. But anyways, Matt LaFleur had to pretty much build an offense that surrounded his skill set. And that's not the case this year. He's fully running Matt's normal offense that is in place for Jordan to run. So he's still learning the ins and outs of that, along with the fact that outside of yesterday's practice, when he was QB1, he's been working with the 2s and 3s all camp. So not the starters like he was last year. I still think he's doing fine. And yeah, and as our QB2, he'll get some time this week and weekend since he'll now be the QB1. It's the Malik Willis show until Jordan gets back, and maybe early parts of next week to work with the ones as well. He'll have some time to improve and keep getting better. So regardless, still love him as our backup as always. So Malik Willis doing solid at camp so far. Thank you, Armin, for hopping in. Appreciate you for joining me today. Liam, LVN, love the hype, but we need it in the regular season. I get that, Liam. I do. But as you know, we have not seen any regular season games yet, so this is the next best thing, right? The hype, I will say, about him having, a great camp is awesome to hear. And yes, I do agree with you. We desperately need it to translate to the regular season. We grabbed him with the 13th overall pick in 2023. So yeah, truth of the matter is he's going to have to start producing this year. Otherwise, the is he a bust conversations that have been happening pretty much since he's been drafted. That's pretty much the case with all the guys we draft high. But though the is he a bust conversations will actually have some ammo behind it. We all know that he has not really done a whole lot during his time with the Packers, at least in the regular season. And this year they are banking on it big time. So they didn't go out and get a veteran edge rusher like I thought they might have in the offseason. So they are going to roll with the guys that we got. And yeah, that's LVN and Rashawn and Egbare and everybody else. So hopefully LVN can be that guy opposite Rashawn, just to bring some pressure. We don't need a 15 sack season out of him. We need a solid guy who's going to be on the field, maybe get a sack every other game or, once every 3 games, make a big play every once in a while. We just need LVN to start producing, and hopefully that will be the case come week 1 against Detroit. Thank you, Liam, for hopping in. Tracy, will the starters be playing this weekend? Tracy, what I had heard while watching Matt LaFleur during his press conference the other day on Tuesday, yesterday. So he was talking about players are going to practice, of course, during Thursday's joint practice against the Colts, and then not play during the Colts preseason game. And then they were going to practice against the Seahawks next week during their joint practice, and then maybe play at the beginning of that third game. And that was the original plan. We'll see if things change. He said they could. And yeah, so I would imagine that the starters, guys like Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs of the world, those guys will probably not be playing on Saturday. But Malik Willis, of course, he is our starting quarterback right now, and he will be playing all the joint practice on Thursday, tomorrow, and obviously on Saturday during the preseason game. I'm excited. I'm actually heading over to Indianapolis tomorrow morning. We're going to be at the joint practice tomorrow afternoon, and then we're going to hit up a Indiana Fever game to watch hopefully Caitlin Clark play. We'll see if she's going to play or not. And then, yeah, Saturday, going to hit up the preseason game at noon and then make the trek back. So I'm excited. I wish the starters were playing for my own personal gain. But, yeah, we'll see. We will see. But as of right now, the original plan, according to Matt LaFleur, was joint practice, yes, for starters. Preseason game this Saturday, no. And then joint practice next week, yes, for starters. And preseason game next weekend against the Seahawks, yes. So we shall see. Thank you, Tracy, for hopping in. Phil, look into your crystal ball. Are we dealing Rasheed Walker to Detroit? ? Phil, hard to say right now, right? He's injured. Jordan Morgan's been taking over Rasheed's spot over there at left tackle, and last game he did pretty good against the Jets. So I think he logged 36 total snaps at left tackle and did not allow one pressure. So you always love to see that. And speaking of the LVN, is he a bust conversation? That same conversation has been going on with Jordan Morgan. Obviously, last year he missed most of the year with a shoulder injury, and we didn't get to see much of him. But this year, so far, so good. Excited to see him in action this Saturday. Him or guys like him, young guys who could potentially be the starters, I would foresee playing on Saturday. So, Phil, to answer your question, I would say no. But hey, you never know. You never know. Last year, I will say during my predictions, I was 11-6 for the Packers predictions. I, of course, picked the Packers to win every single game last year, and they finished the year 11-6. And so, yeah, there's my record, 11-6 last year. My predictions are pretty good. I would take that. That's for sure. King AJ, honestly, how much longer until someone or all are on the hot seat? Everyone included, from the water boy to the top. Hey, King AJ, coming in with some heat here. Throwing some gasoline on the fire. I don't think anybody's there at this point in time. I don't think they will be, other than a scenario where the Packers win, 5 or less games this year with everybody healthy. If Jordan's healthy all year and they only win 5-6 games, then yeah, those seats start heating up. Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think their seats are going to get hot anytime soon. I personally, based off of your question, I'm assuming you're not on the approval side for Goody or LaFleur, but I love those two. I don't know what it is. I think they're doing a pretty dang good job. Goody, especially in the free agent game, and I know he's had his draft woes years back, but as of late, he's been doing pretty dang good. So overall, I will say. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think the seat's going to get hot anytime soon, and it'll take a pretty catastrophic year out of the Packers overall, non-injury related, to even get to that conversation. So yeah, King AJ, that's my answer to your question. Appreciate that. My grandma Linda's in the house. Love this. I'm glad you do, Linda. I will see you soon. Got some T-ball tonight. You're looking at one of the best T-ball coaches in the state. Will is in the house. Packers on top. You know it. Jason is in the house. What is the vibe at camp as far as the coaches goes? Are they on everybody, or is it pretty lackadaisical? From what I witnessed when I was there week before last, the whole vibe was cool to see up close, just because they take it so seriously, but at the same exact time, they find the correct, appropriate time to have a little fun. I was standing on the sidelines, and Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams were, 5 feet in front of me, doing kind of a punch the ball out drill, and the ball kind of bounced right to me, and the kid next to me grabbed it, and Xavier walked right up to him and pretty much did the drill, told him, hold the ball high and tight, playfully punched it out. The whole vibe, the whole team seems like they kind of have a pretty good gel thing going on. And yeah, coaches, that same practice, actually, Rasheed Walker pretty much got kicked off during teams because he was getting into it with Kingsley Enagbare. And I'm not sure if any punches were thrown. I don't think there were, but some extra shoving and pushing to the ground type of thing. And yeah, coach just said, hey, get off the field, go take a lap. So Rasheed had to take a lap, which was kind of funny to see. I haven't seen that at a Packers practice in a long time. So overall, the vibe is great, especially before the injuries. Injuries have kind of dampened things a little bit, but so far so good as far as the vibe goes. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always, always, always love talking Packers football with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend or a family member or a fellow Packers fans that I am live every single day, every game day, and to come talk some Packers with me. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Have yourself a great Wednesday, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.